What's up, babies? DJ Hi Kevin here. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk a little bit of pop culture. One of the largest events outside of regular scheduled sporting events occurred just this past weekend with the Jake Paul-Mike Tyson fight. And I saw a lot of DJs commenting on it and how they learned some things from it, saying things like the marketing was cool, it brought everyone together. So I figured there had to be something that we could learn from this. Pulling in 60 million Netflix viewers alone, a fight between a 27-year-old and a 58-year-old brought all those people together at the same time and place. And of course had us all talking for weeks leading up to the event and continuing to talk about it at least for a few days afterward. Now this is no Hawk Tua, but we can definitely gain some insight as far as things that we as DJs can do to better market ourselves, to create a little hype, to work together, and of course to tell a compelling story that really grips people from start to finish. So let's talk business, let's talk branding, let's talk beating the competition, both in the booth and in the bank, and let's learn from this. Let's go. First things first, you got to build hype around anything you're doing. As DJs, we essentially are the hype. We are in the same game of being the entertainer. We don't just play tracks, we create an experience just as much as Jake and Mike were not fighting, they were entertaining. Now, of course, you can't build hype around a wedding, but as we get into these fall and winter months, I feel like this is the greatest concentration of parties for us. So build some hype up for yourself. If you're doing Thanksgiving Eve or New Year's Eve or anything like that, maybe some holiday parties, make sure you give them a reason to be excited about you. Make a poster, have somebody make a poster, do whatever you can to make your party as hype as everyone was for this fight on Friday night. So checkbox number 2 for things we can learn from this fight is that clearly collaboration is king. If Jake Paul fought some other 58-year-old dude, even if he was as big as Tyson, it's not fun. And if Mike Tyson comes out of retirement to fight me, that's not fun either. Whichever side you want to look at it from. Let's take Jake Paul's point of view, right? 27 years young, has been climbing the ladder of the boxing world. He's not really a legend in his own right by any means. And he had to know that this wasn't really about the win. This was so much more about the experience of it all and really creating some hype behind his name simply by being on the same playbill as Mike Tyson. But just by doing that, he pulled those 60 million plus people in to see a fight that he was in. So whether it's with DJing, with making videos, throwing a party, even just sharing music and building your crates, collaboration is something you absolutely should be doing with as many people as you can. And I personally love to collaborate and actually have some really cool collaboration ideas for the members on this channel, which is actually pretty soon going to include sharing some music. But let's really break it down as far as this collaboration between Tyson and Paul. You have the legacy that is Mike Tyson. You have the youth and the energy that is Paul. And you put those together and to me, that's just unstoppable. So let's learn from them. Let's collaborate with people bigger and smaller than us, because at the end of the day, you're sharing audiences, and that's a win on both ends. All right, lesson number 3 that we can gain from these two gents is that at the end of the day, they made money. They made so much money that it didn't matter about the fight. But on top of making all the money just off of ticket sales, there was so much more behind the scenes that we know is going on. Sponsorships, of course, pay-per-view, merchandising, and a ton more. We, as DJs, can certainly do something very similar. And as a personal example, I'd like to shout out a local Philly legend, DJ Smooth. This guy is throwing parties, he's selling merch, he's got his own drinks. He's working at Xfinity Live, making partnerships with all the big people. And he's bringing on awesome other Philly DJs like Courtesy, my man Spinelli. And he's attracting guys like me, Jeff Scott Gould, and Bird to all come and just hang out because we want to see cool DJs, have good food, hang with good people, and drink a little bit too. So Smooth has basically turned a one-night event into an entire career. And at the end of the day, the guy probably never needs to DJ ever again if he didn't want to. What could he do? He could get old, bring in some youth, and just teach them his ways and have them continue the legacy That's my man doing it right. And I'll be honest, I learned a lot from him already just by kind of watching him in the background. So shouts to you, Smooth, and everything that you're doing, man. You're an inspiration. But we're here to talk about the fight. So let's jump into our fourth lesson that we learned from these two guys, which is how to truly break it all down and tell a story, because that's the secret sauce. Jake Paul getting to that point where he was fighting Mike Tyson, and every day leading up to that, in my opinion, is the real story. So at some point, you have to share with the world your DJ story. Where did you come from? What made you do this? What were you doing before you were doing this? What is it that makes you need to do this? That makes you continue to do this despite the tough gigs, despite the phones being shoved in your face, despite all the struggles that we have, monetary, emotional, just all of it together. Why are you still here? For me, this is the perfect job for me. I will not throw this away for anything. If it means early days, late nights, if it means no sleep, if it means back pain, if it means driving long distances, if it means doing kid parties, if it means playing line dances, at the end of the day, I will fight for what I do. And Jake Paul literally fought for what he does against someone that we all thought was gonna kill him. So I find myself empathizing a little bit on both sides. Very happy that they both made their bag, but also just at the end of it all, really happy that it all happened and that we were here to see it, because we all now have a connection with Jake Paul. We have another connection with Mike Tyson beyond seeing his booty cheeks. But the more you share about yourself, yes, we want to see all the awesome DJ clips, but the more you share about yourself, the more people can connect to you. And really, a lot of people are looking for that too in their DJ. So whether you're talking about the first piece of DJ gear you ever got, or you're talking about that gig that you really, really want in the future, open up, let people in, because the more you let them in, the more you're going to get out. And I guarantee that. So we can take some notes from the ring here. We got to create some hype. We got to create a team. We got to make that money, of course, but we also have to share some emotional sides of things and really share our story. So whether you're in the club, whether you're an online DJ, whether you're private events only, you are the brand, and you can create hype behind everything. So let's create some fucking hype, dude. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, join the members for all the extra goodies that you get from me, and let's keep spinning and keep looking at things a little bit differently, because that's what this channel's all about. I appreciate you being here. See you next time. Hey, what's up, babies? Thanks so much for checking out the video. I wanted to jump in because I threw that poll out there last week. I am definitely going to be making the video about going full-time next. This video is going to include pros and cons of being a full-time DJ, pros and cons of being a DJ while having a full-time job, and basically everything else in between. It's already scripted out. I just got to record and edit. So you can definitely see that next week. So be sure to come back every week for new videos. And once again, I appreciate you, babies.